I just went ahead and made a custom LED bracket for my license plate. As you can see, it lit up the whole floor. So if you want to see how I did it, make sure you stay tuned and let's get to it. All right guys, so as you can see, my plate LED right here is very bright and it lights up the whole floor. So let me see if I can get you a closer shot right here. And the cool thing about this setup right here is that it'll work on cars and trucks. So this is like a universal setup. And this setup right here is actually pretty simple to make. So let me go ahead and show you right now.
It's just electricity. You can have it anytime you call. Power is everywhere. You just have to harness it.
Alright guys, so to do the plate bar right here is actually pretty simple. And the first thing, of course, that you will need is the LED bar right here. So it's an aluminum bar and it's pretty much about like 12 inches. But I'll also have it linked down below in the description, as well as some of the adapters right here. But pretty much the aluminum bar, and then it won't come notched like this. So you will have to notch it separate. So the bars will come all straight, but you do have to make some notches right here for the holes to screw on the plate back. And what I like to do is just use a plate and then put it in place right here. And then, just trace it over with a Sharpie right here and then cut out the areas. That way I know that it's going to be clearing out this section so I can bolt it down. So this is just an aftermarket plate, but the original one has the same holes right there. And the other important part is going to be the LED strip itself right here. So you want to cut it all the way, from side to side. That way you get the full length of the bar and lit up real good right there. So you also want to put some high quality LEDs. That way they don't change color. So if you put a cheap LED, it might be white in the beginning, and then after it might turn up into a yellow light, which is, not what you want. So I have some LEDs right here that you can see where this one right here just started turning yellow because it's cheaper. And then these are the ones that I use. So they always stay the same color and the same, brightness throughout the lifespan of the LED, which is good. And, this doesn't look as good right here. And also it changes color after a while.
What is real? How do you define real?
So just be careful on what kind of LEDs you want to put in there. But, if you can get some high quality LEDs, then I would recommend that. That way, this is going to last longer and it's going to look good a long time. So once you cut it all out, then you'll have to stick it on here. To stick the LED on, what I like to do is use some adhesive promoter. So some of this right here, and then also, the sponge right here to apply it. So you want to put some of this promoter on the LED tape right here, removing this, and then also on the aluminum flat bar. So once you put the promoter and it dries out, then this will, stick real good for a very long time and it's not going to be falling off. And if it doesn't want to stick too much, or if you want to be, for sure that it's not going to fall off, you do want to use some of this CA glue. And that way, you can use it on the edges or anywhere where it's not sticking well, and, it won't fall off like that at all.
So, we use super glue instead.
So with that CA glue, it won't fall off the edges and it won't be hanging or anything like that, because sometimes they don't want to stick too well if you don't clean it. Or so that CA glue will help out, in case anywhere it didn't stick that good, or for whatever reason you want to make sure that it's not going to move, then that'll keep it secure and it's not going to be falling off and it'll look clean.
We really should weld these bumpers on.
And so I'll have these items linked down below in the description. And also, as you guys can see, I like to put the LED on the outer edge and leave a little channel right here, and that way my plate can sit all flush and it's not gonna look too bulky. So you can see when I put the plate right here, it has that space right there, and that way it's not gonna hit on the LED or anything like that, and it's gonna be like a real flush mount and not look bad at all. So once you have your bar cut out and your LED on the bar, then all you want to do is the wiring connection, and you could just do wire to wire. So you would just solder it from here into a like a positive or negative. And what I like to do, of course, is use the outdoor connectors here, so that way it can be like a plug and play setup. In case it gets messed up, then I can upgrade it, or for whatever reason, if I want to remove it, then it's easy. And those are right here, so they're just a two-piece. So I would solder one side on the LED bar and then one on the car side. And if you don't want to do that, of course, you can also use just regular wire. And 18 gauge is fine. So something like this, something thin. This is a little bit thicker, but they're the same thing, but the thinner the better, because you want to hide your wiring. So as you can see, I like to solder them and then heat shrink it. That way it's not going to get damaged with water. And then it just bends to the back, and then the connector will just get soldered into the car. And so when it's on the car already and the plate is on, you won't really see the wire. You might just see a little bit on this corner, but overall, it looks pretty clean and it's going to be very bright for a long time. So once you're finished with the wiring and the bar, all you got to do is connect the two wires right here into the factory, license plate light. And so it'll just be a positive and negative, and that's pretty much it right there for power. So as you can see, I can test it out right here with the battery. So just positive and negative, and then, it'll light up the whole bar. And you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments on this setup right here. But this is actually very bright, and it'll last you a very long time, more than those aftermarket ones, because these are all customizable, and then you can upgrade it whenever you want to. And I just did a giveaway video, which these are included, and if you haven't checked it out, I'll go ahead and link it on top of the screen right here. And if you'd like to purchase one of these from me, I'll be selling them on my Instagram, which is Migo713, and I'll have it right here. And so that's the one strip right there. But also, if you guys want to do even brighter, I'll go ahead and show you right now what I did on this one right here. So right here, what I have is my friend Suburban, and what I did is on his license plate here, if you guys notice, I was able to put 2 LEDs on it, so it's actually very bright. And you know, this is a newer truck right here. And on his, since it's a newer truck and I put a bigger bar, I also did go ahead and, you know, make a hole right through here and go up on the factory, because they're different than the older trucks. So the older ones are even easier, but this wasn't hard at all either. And from back here, you can't really notice it, so it looks pretty good, you know, not bad at all. So it looks pretty sleek, and at nighttime, you know, it shines the whole floor right here. So right now, when it gets darker, I'll go ahead and try it out for you guys as well. So right over here, you can see on the Tahoe how I have my license plate bracket. So you guys can just see right here, it's all flush, and the wiring, you know, just gets tucked in the back right here. So there you can see I tucked the wire, you know, a little bit behind the bar and the plate, and that way from the top, all you see is a little bit of wiring right here, and it's all flush. And so my power wiring is going from the back, and it's tapping into the factory, you know, license plate bracket right here. So you know, there's some LEDs on this side and that side, so it doesn't matter which one you grab. As long as you grab one, then you're good to go. And from back here, you can kind of see I ran the wire right here, and my quick connector is here, so if I want to remove it, I could just, you know, unplug it, and then I'm just tapping into the factory wiring. So it's just going to this side, and you can see the wire right here. So it's not hard at all, you know, you just grab positive, negative, and then you just close it back up. And right here in the Tahoe, I went ahead and pulled off the wiring just to show you real quick. So you can kind of see, you know, that it's got the black and brown wire right here. So on the left side, it's got that brown wire, that's the positive, and then the black is gonna be negative. So whenever you hook them up on the Tahoe right here, it's just, you know, the black wire is negative, and then the, you know, lighter color like this brown is gonna be your positive. So my dark brown is a positive, and then, you know, the black of course is gonna be ground. And that's all you gotta do, you know, just tap in power right here, or you can also go on that side, but this one right here is gonna be closer. And also for you guys that wanted to know, this bumper is from an Escalade, so it's like a 02 to 06 Escalade right there. So when this gets mounted into the plate, you know, it should be flush right here on the left side, and then also flush on the right side. So that way it looks more uniform, and it doesn't look like, you know, it's out of place right there. And also, if you guys had a question on this, I also made this cover out of ABS plastic, and I just, you know, double-sided tape right there, because I'm not using the spare tire, so I went ahead and just blocked it off. And later I do want to put like a camera or something on here, because that's what I had on my Yukon. So here I have my friend Suburban, and I also added the custom LED plate bar, and I'll show you right here how it lights up the floor, but you guys let me know what you think. Here we go. And there it is. So it lights up this whole area, so it's very bright. It goes, you know, real far for some LEDs, and you know, they last a long time, so that's why I like them as well. And so I'll turn it off again, and then back on. And here's a side shot right here with the plate bar versus the headlights. So the headlights of course are brighter, but I think that's actually pretty bright for some, you know, backup light right there on the license plate. It's almost like having a mini headlight in the back here.
Remember, this is your world. You get to make and break the rules here.
Sweet baby Jesus.
And let me go ahead and show you the comparison between one LED strip and then this one right here that has 2. So I'll press the unlock right here, and there you can see that one came on, and then there's the one on the Tahoe. So as you can see, they're both bright, but this one, I'm not sure if you can tell, but the line is a little bit fuzzy, and then this one is like very sharp. So I'm not sure if the camera picks it up that well, but you know, it's just a tad bit, little bit more brighter, but sharper on the floor line. But they're both actually very bright, so they'll both work, just depending, you know, if you can fit 2 strips or 1 strip. So that's off right there. And let me go ahead and turn it on one more time. So yeah, it's pretty bright on both of them, but this is very sharp right here. That's a look right there again. And if you're still watching the video and you think this light right here is pretty cool, check this out right here.
You ever see 127 hours? Spoiler alert.
So I went ahead and did a wiring right here, so whenever he does his turn signal, he has cornering lights. So check this out right here. So they're all on the bottom right there. So whenever he does a turn signal, then the floor will light up. So the blinkers will blink, but the bottom lights will stay solid, just like on the luxury cars or also on the older cars. And check out on my Silverado right here as well. So the turn signal, and they're right there with the puddle lights. So let me know what you guys think on that. If the headlights are off, you know, the blinker works like normal, so in the daytime they're not going to be on. So only whenever it's nighttime. And if the blinker goes off, then that cornering light just goes away as well. So if you want to see that wiring up next, make sure you're subscribed and stay tuned. So you guys let me know what you think down below in the comments on this setup right here. And also if this video helped you out, don't forget to hit that like button down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. We're gone.